Probably your connection, Dawn.
No, it's not. Oh, my banners.
We're live.
Oh, no. Okay, we're live. You know what? I got to go live on Facebook. Just say hello. Hi, everybody. We're live right now, but hello. I am working on something else. I got to get on Instagram, so bear with me. We're going live, and we're going live all over, I'm telling you right now. So just bear with me. I'll get more coordinated at this. You wait and see. So now you get to see my branding. Hi, everybody. This is Dawn. I'm your host, Dawn Black with Century 21 First Class Homes, and I want to thank you very much for joining me on another episode of Meet the Expert on the Block. And I have here my two guests that I'm not going to introduce to you yet, but I'm getting comments, boy, already. So on this show, we just love to wing it. I'm winging it right now. Hold on a second. Oh, my gosh, let's look at some of these comments. They're coming up. We have a LinkedIn user. Oh, good morning, everyone. It's that morning. Go live, Brandon. Awesome. And this is like a Ritesh. Oh. What up, peeps? Yes, Chris Black. Oh, that was Chris Black. They're like coming out here and says, you sound great. Well, thank you. And then Paulina says, hi there. And Greg, she says, wait a second, I'm getting too many more. I'm bopping around. I love your energy, Don. Yes, it's after 2 cups of coffee. And Evelyn, hi, how you doing? Thanks, everybody, for joining me on this episode of Meet the Expert on the Block. I want to thank everybody for joining, but I just want to go through quickly before we get into meeting everybody on our episode. Hold on, I got to get this off of here because I'm going to hide Allison for a moment. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do some housekeeping now. I do this because the main reason is to introduce new businesses, business owners, and programs that people may have just so people can get out there and know more about you. And if you like what you see, and now, I don't know, but somebody tell me if we're on Instagram because I think we're live there too. We're live everywhere. We're live on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and sorry, X didn't work. But that's because of technical difficulties, and that's okay. So I'm sure everybody's seeing us out there anyway. So thanks again for joining me on this episode. I have some great people here that I'm excited. And too, for everybody, before I introduce our special guest, for everybody that wants to be a part of the C4C movement, that's the Confidence for Connectors program. And our guests are going to be our guests are going to be giving away a free program. And what we're going to do is at the end of our show, we're going to have a drawing, and you're going to love this. If you put hashtag C4C, that's C, the number 4, and C in the comments, you will be automatically entered in, and it better work, entered in to the drawing. So if you're out there, please do that if you want to be entered into the drawing. I have here some great people. We have Raghu Sundara and we have Dr. Michelle Morkert, and they're part of the Confidence for Connectors program. Raghu, if you would be so kind as to introduce yourself.
Thank you, Dawn. I really appreciate you having us on your show. My name is Raghu Sundara, and I am a networking coach with the company called Always Be Connecting. And I help people with the mindsets, processes, and techniques to maximize their networking efforts.
Well, thank you for being on my show. And Michelle, Dr. Michelle, if you would please introduce yourself.
Sure. And you have so much energy. It's like hard for me to follow this. I'm trying to up level here myself. So I'm Dr. Michelle Morkert, and I'm a confidence coach for high achieving women leaders working in male dominated spaces. So thanks for having us, Dawn.
Well, thank you for being here and sharing your expertise. And we're gonna jump right into it. We do have a couple people here. Christine is saying hello. We have Jeffrey Berber saying good evening, guys. Well, good evening to you. And thank you for joining us. So why don't we start off? I want to know how you two met.
Oh.
How did you guys meet?
So it's going to be so crazy. We met at a networking event. It was just so crazy. Yeah. It was unbelievable. So about a year and a half ago, Dr. Michelle and I met at a networking event. I had given my OSB Connecting talk, and after we just ran into each other. When I found out what she does, for a living and her why she does it, it really got me interested in just learning more about, what she's about, and women's leadership and empowerment, diversity, equity, inclusion. What really drew me to wanting to go to coffee. So a week later, we met up for coffee, got to know each other more, and wanted to collaborate. And so it was probably only like 3 or 4 months later, we had the pleasure of rolling out a diversity, equity, inclusion policy for an association, an Illinois chapter here in Schaumburg. And through that process, we just learned that we just love working and collaborating together and running discussions. And I just learned so much from her throughout that process. And I just wanted to, that's how we met. But what really drew us even more together was, how can we bring people together and we, in the spirit of diversity, equity, inclusion, even when it comes to perspectives.
And I'll say this, at the networking event, at the end, we connected and Raghu said, so you want to get together? And I was like, yeah. You want to send an email? And he's like, well, no, don't you have your phone? I was like, yeah, but what does that have to do with anything? And he's like, well, we could just, do it right here. We could set it on the calendar. I'm like, the calendar on my phone? I mean, I'm telling you, I was like, what is happening here? And so, so we eventually ended up trying to support one another in our own coaching practices, right? Because I have my own one-on-one clients and group clients and speaking, and so does he. And, at that time, we were just really trying to help one another. And what ended up happening was we began coaching one another because I thought I didn't know anything about networking. And I had a lot to learn, but a lot of it was just my own mental blocks, which I began to see as we talked it through together. And then I think that I was able to help him also, because believe it or not, every human has, the mental blocks, including Raghu, who we all see as such a, expert networker. And at that point, we thought, well, this is perfect, because if you go into the networking events with the techniques, but you don't also have the mindset and the ability to regulate your nervous system, right? You're not going to really network the way you want to. And if you go in with all the confidence in the world, but you don't have the techniques or, the way to read people or be actually curious, we know what happens. You end up like over there somewhere by yourself and you're sad about it. And so it was really wonderful to be coaching one another. And then I can remember one day we were talking and I said, you know what you should do? You should totally do an event called Stump Raghu. It would be so fun, because then people could see what it's really like to get coached. They could see how you can help them. And then we started having more and more of those conversations. And that really led us to think really seriously, though, about how we could bring together our skills and our unique abilities to help people so that they can up level in the ways that they really do want to. And that's how we started.
I just find it amazing. You said you're both like coaches, and you're like, being a coach, you really need to be coached. I mean, you both are amazing in what you do. It'd be like, why do you guys need to be coached? You basically are you lay the groundwork for everybody else. So why is it that you say that you need to be coached?
And you know I'm going to go like real hard on this, Dawn, because I believe, I say it all the time, coaches get coached. Coaches get coached because we go first. I am not the coach for everybody. Raghu's not the coach for everybody, but I'll tell you what, never work with a coach if they're not getting coached. I just really feel so strongly about it because we all have an inner critic. We all have limiting mindsets. We all have a nervous system that gets sweaty palms and flushed face and heart racing, right? And there's a lot that we need to really pay attention to if we want to up level, if we want to get out there and connect with people. And I think that's what I want, it's what you want, and it's what our clients want.
Well, that's great. I mean, that's a great way to look at it. So it's great. So all those coaches out there, you need to be coached, okay? So here, let's go back to, I just want to go back to what was the reason for you putting together this C4C program? What made you I mean, you both were coaching, you both met each other, you're coaching each other, but now you create this program, and why? What is the why that you did the program for?
Yeah. I can
Yeah,
go.
so I can, go for it. You go for it.
Yeah. Rock, paper, scissors, right? Let's see what happens.
You win. You win.
I'll go. So I have been, facilitating groups and teaching, for almost 20 years, right? And I just think that we have an opportunity right now using tech. And I know a lot of people are like, I don't want to do that, right? But we have an opportunity to get together with so many other people to learn like their perspectives. And when we're with these other people who we might not ever be in the same room with if we weren't doing this virtually, that we get to realize that we're not alone, that we have more in common than what we think we do. And for me, personally, I want to help people to meet their goals for transformation. So I want to help you to be able to show up in a space. I want you to be able to speak up in a space, right? And I want to help you to feel empowered yourself to meet that goal. And I think that we do that. It's how we diversify leadership. I think that's what we do here in our networking group.
Yeah. For me, it was, I have all the strategies that I've learned from other people that I put into place. And when I was getting the coaching from Dr. Michelle, it really held me accountable, and it really made me get out of my own bubble and really grow and be way more than I thought I could be. And set goals even that were higher than I would ever think I could achieve them. So I thought about that, and I said, if I'm helping people individually, but if I added the mindset, head trash, inner critic, imposter syndrome to the mix that Dr. Michelle brings, what would that look like? And it would be efficient in a way where we could have these real plays.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Michelle brought up the stump Raghu. That's the real plays that we do on our coaching calls every week. It's the real plays. We don't talk about role plays. We talk about real life situations that people are going through. And it's the problem solving of people want to be able to empathize and be in the other person's shoes and really say, look, I've been there before, and I hate the way that feels. And I hate that you feel that way. Let's solve this problem together, and vice versa. And then we go through the SWOT analysis of the networking game and beyond. And it's really amazing how much quicker and how much more fun it is to work together when you're solving each other's problems. And it's just the mindset. And then pretty soon people are solving their own problems because they have the right mindsets and the processes in place. And it all comes from the camaraderie of the group and the energy of the group. Like Dawn, you were a part of it, and
Yes,
you brought a lot of energy. You brought the same amount of energy you're bringing right now. Yeah. So when you bring that ball of energy into the group, it's contagious. And that's something that you don't get everywhere. And that's the other thing. We were trying to do something that we didn't see that was out there. There's a lot of coaching programs out there. They're all great. And there's sales, there's marketing, and there's the inner critic and imposter syndrome talks out there. But there really wasn't anything out there combining everything together. And that's what we're really trying to be, something to solve a problem that we saw a lot of people locally and, through, globally, that Dr. Michelle sees that's out there.
you really opened up you opened up a can of worms. I mean, everybody, I mean, people don't no, but I mean, you don't realize that there are so many people that have that same thing about just being comfortable in your own skin and getting out there to do a networking. Just the whole idea about networking. I mean, I know I was a basket case. I still get nervous, although I mean, I'm getting, I want to say a little bit better at it, but I mean, it's still, you're going through all those emotions and the doubts and the physical things that may happen to you, like sweaty and all that other stuff. But to really talk it through to a bunch of people like that, like in a class setting or on a Zoom call like that, really does kind of put things in perspective for you, so that the next time you do something like that, you feel better. You may not be totally on the like, whoa, this is easy, but you at least feel a little bit better walking in the room. So I think that, so what you've done is, I think you've done something good, actually. So
I heard Dr. Michelle whisper to me, or a whisper just when you said that, was, your inner critic will never go away. Your inner critic will always be there.
Well, that's true. I think
right.
It's
that's what she
true.
always teaches. And just how do you deal with it? Because and you got to be okay with the inner critic being there.
So before we jump on to our next little tidbit, we've got some people jumping on that I think we better let them know that. I want to make them know that we know that they're there. So we've got Kathy Fasanda. She says good evening. So
and her dog, buddy.
Yeah. And then Bryn, no pressure, Dawn. There's not really any pressure here. Oh, no. No, not at all. And then we've got, who else do we have? We've got a wave from Hector Martinez. Yes. And then a hello from Carlton And, Journey Mindfully. I can't wait to hear tonight's episode. And I'm glad you're here joining us. And I think I've gone through everybody. But again, I want to remind, we've got Erin Winter. Hello, hello. Adam Pietka. Hi, everyone. Oh, my goodness.
Everybody.
Yeah. And then, what else do we have? So I just want to remind everybody, if you haven't, we've got a couple more people here. This is cool. Matt Hammer. Good evening, everyone. Joy. Hi. So if you're still out there, everybody, I would like to, Cassandra.
Hey, Cassie.
Camaraderie is here. It sure as hell is. Yeah. So I want everybody who is out there, you must know this person, right? Christopher Morkert.
Oh, hi, everyone. Yeah.
Everyone. Yeah.
I know that cool. You're hiking in the snow. Yeah.
And then, hi, Matt. How you doing? Hello, everyone. This is awesome. Wow, look at this. I could do this all night.
You don't even need us, Dawn. We're just going to sit
there. Yeah, just keep going, Dawn.
So I just wanted, one more. Raghu Sundara probably told us all we needed to be here.
Wow.
Calendar invites. Anybody?
So, well, that's great. I want to thank everybody who is joining us. And again, if you're still out there and you didn't disappear on us, remember, hashtag C4C if you would like to be in the drawing to join the program for Confidence for Connectors. So please, if you'd like to be there, I'd like to see a little bit more on the hashtag C4C so we can have more people in the drawing. And then one last person before we do our Jamie. Hi, Jamie. How you doing? So this is great. I'm glad we've got a bunch of people here. So here, this is what I wanted to ask. So what can people expect when they are in your program? Like, I know that you have like is it the 8-week program and a 4-week program, right? Is that how it is? Or how are you? Tell us a little bit about what people can expect.
Yeah. So, all right, I can jump in. Is that all right? I'll get started on what you can expect. So first of all, I want to ask Raghu how you felt about us being a virtual group, because there may there who are like, yeah, I don't know how this virtual thing goes because we're so tired of Zoom since, the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just be honest. I thought it was going to suck.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just be honest. Remember, I told you that. I was like, this is not going to go well. I don't
Really?
because I'm an in-person type of networker, and I didn't realize. And I get my energy from people, and I like being live, and so I thought just being over Zoom, I didn't give it the fair chance that it actually how good it is, and how good the camaraderie and how people can feed off each other. I think it's just the people that you have on the in the group that make it right, and then the how good are the facilitators as far as Michelle, like what are the discussions that we're talking about? Is it meaningful? And so Michelle, Dr. Michelle, you obviously have you already knew because you've done a ton of coaching over Zoom. I never did it, but I was wrong, and I admitted it, and so I'm glad because it was good.
Live.
Yeah.
I remember
I
I remember after the first call, we got on a call together and you said, that was so good. You were really happy about it. And I was happy too, because I felt that the people on the call really did connect with one another just right away. And so that's one of the things that we bring to this particular type of coaching is that interaction on the call. We're we create a space where people feel comfortable. I hope. Dawn, you can tell me if I'm being honest here.
I was very, at first, I'll be honest with you. When I first did it, it's like my mindset is always kind of like wishy-washy, and I'll like get in and I'm like, okay, I'm here. And then it's like, it's like, okay, so, and you don't know what to say, but you're just sitting there, and I'll like sit back and listen, because that's where I am, and see how people, what they say, how they contribute. And then as the class went on, you know what, I really kind of got into it. It was like, listening what other people's situations were, and then kind of looking back at what was going on with me. I was like, you know what, I'm no different than anybody else here. I mean, everybody has the same fear. Everybody has the apprehensions, but it was nice to be in a group where you were giving us some ideas and techniques, which I have to say they are, the ones that I use, I think they help me out a lot. And they make me feel a little bit more comfortable. I'm not going to say that I'm going to walk into a room and be like, oh, hey, I'm here. But I mean, I feel a lot more comfortable walking into a room at times, more now than I did before. So I thank you. I guess that's a thank you to both of you for that. So I really do appreciate that.
Yeah. And so in our group, it really is about the content being applicable. You can take it, you can use it right away. And that's what we want, is we want you to use it over the course of the week in between the calls. And we want you to share with us what's going well and what's not going well, so that we can talk about it on the call and sort of problem solve a little bit, right? Like, what could you do differently? What if we took this into consideration or that strategy into consideration? And so, we bring resources. I mean, I just think there's a lot that people get from the course, but it really is, I think, so much about the relationships. Raghu, what do you think?
Yeah, I have two favorite parts that you didn't talk about are the real plays. So when we have somebody that comes to a session and they're bringing up 2 or 3 things that we weren't even ready to talk about, but we have the mindsets to problem solve for it or ask the right questions, or even be okay with not knowing and just maybe putting research into it and then coming back the next week, or trial and error, maybe give a couple suggestions and them try it, maybe apply it, those ideas over the next week, and even call us after or text us after that appointment or after that networking event that they were dreading, or the biggest customer that they have. And they text us and they say, Dr. Michelle, it went really, really well, and this is what happened. And do you have time to talk? I want to tell you all about it. And those are the great things. Or, hey, it didn't really go that well, but I think I was making way bigger deal of it than it was. So it's going to be okay. I'm going to have more of these types of attempts, but I'm going to be stronger at it instead of never even trying that type of technique. And so that's my favorite part, is that they have the full, freedom to come out and reach out to us and utilize us as resources throughout the program, but even after, because the friendship and the community is built.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, we are power partners with you the whole time. We're there to be your power partners. And we also try to bring resources. That's something that's really important to us too, that we can equip you with, like things you can listen to, whether it's a podcast or something you can read or something that you can just practice.
And that is really big. I mean, and you helped, you were there. I think you were there for everybody. And the one thing that I thought was really cool was like around Christmas time, you had everybody get together. Just so you see everybody on Zoom, and it's there, and everybody's building relationships that way. But it was so wild getting everybody together, around Christmas, because it's like, wow, you're a real person, it's like, yeah, I did see you up on the screen too. So I thought that was kind of a really fun way to get together and just kind of meet everybody in person and get to know what, just to kind of talk through some things and just see what they're doing. And it was just a fun time. But you know what? We do have a couple more people that are jumping on here. Let me hear. Hold on. Rob, I took the course and really enjoyed it. Yes. I think I took the course with Rob. So I remember Rob, we went to the same course. And we have Kathy Clays. She says, hi, Dawn. Hey, Kathy, how you doing? Allison says, highly recommend C4C. I always continue to learn something new. Isn't that nice when you hear something like that? It really puts a meaning towards everything that you're doing. I mean, it really is. It's a great, and what did we have here? Greg Young, Raghu.
He is definitely not a first-time watcher, is he?
No, he's not.
He might be a Dawn Block groupie.
Yeah, he says, heard you glad you can take me in a bowling match.
Oh no, he's a professional bowler. He's trying to lure me in.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Well, again, I really want to ask. So before we do the drawing, because I know we have the drawing. So again, if you want to be entered in, please put in the comment hashtag C4C. Before we do the drawing, I would like you could do one at a time, and we'll do ladies first and then Raghu. What bit of advice could you give to lessen the stress levels when you are walking into a networking event?
So, Dawn, I'm going to circumvent this because we have a plan of how we're going to talk about this. So I'm going to have Raghu go first, because I think when he creates the scenario, it makes a little bit more sense on how like this mindset piece comes in. So if you can give your example, I'd like to do that. Is that all right, Dawn?
That's fine, girl. Let's roll with it.
Let's go with this. So I think, one piece of advice I would give is to reference the Dale Carnegie book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. There's a quote in there, and it says, to be interesting, be interested. So if you're interested in somebody and in what they're saying, and you're engaged in what they're saying and paying attention, open listening, and asking follow-up questions, you will be interesting, right? So that's where I would come from, especially when you're feeling maybe that anxiety of going into a club or a networking event that you don't know everyone, and you don't know what to expect. Put the ball in the other person's court to start answering questions about why are they there, why do they join, why are they proud to be a member of whatever organization it is, and let them tell you about their why, and who they are. And then they'll tell you what their occupation is, obviously, because you'll find out. And then it'll be teed up. They're giving you a template on how you will provide your why and what you're, and who invited you to the event, and so on. it gives you a little delay, but it also should make you feel a little comfortable knowing that they're giving you that talk path, firsthand. So if they're a person that's just going to keep going on and on, you can shorten it up. But if there's somebody who's just to get straight to the point, then you know what they're looking to hear, and then you tell them how in your world what does that look like. And if they are somebody who knows a few people in that event that you don't, maybe it's the first time you're attending, you can ask for some warm introductions. Use it to your benefit. If Dr. Michelle is saying, "Hey, I know a lot of people here," well, Dr. Michelle, I really appreciate, it's great meeting you. Would you mind introducing me to a couple people? And of course she's going to say, "Yeah, sure. Let me walk you over," and you'll get warm introductions. It might break the ice a lot easier, break the click, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one piece of advice I would give, along with keeping an open mind.
Mm-hmm. And so then I think if you're trying to, show up and be interested, you have to get out of your own way. This is the thing. And I just have to reference like Dale Carnegie, that was like 90 years ago, right? That was written, like it was so long ago, but like we're changing it. And this is what we do here, right? Is we're taking some of the ways that things have been done and really making them more applicable for so many more people. And so in order to be interested, you got to get out of your own way. And I say that with so much love and compassion, because my inner critic, and we all have it here, we've all talked about it individually, in this group, the inner critic is there. And it's going to be tapping you on the shoulder and whispering in your ear. And you're going to think, oh, I have nothing to talk about. Nobody wants to talk to me. I don't know anybody. Nobody knows what coaching is. They're going to just think this is not even a real thing, right? Or whatever narrative I have, whatever story I tell myself, what is that going to do? It's going to have me looking around for evidence that all of that is true. So when my heart starts racing, my face gets flushed, my hands sweat, whatever it might be, I start fidgeting around, my brain's going to be like, see, you don't know what you're doing. See, you have nothing to say, right? But we have to then kind of question that, be like, I have a human brain. This is my inner critic. I knew you were coming along for the ride. You always show up. Oh, and I have a nervous system, and this is what my nervous system does. But guess what? Everybody else has a human brain and everybody else has a nervous system. And I'm probably not the only one who's experiencing something. So what is my why? Why am I here? What do I really want to do? Do I want to connect? Then that means I need to tell my inner critic to kind of quiet down a little bit, right? And I need to hear what Dawn is saying so that way I can actually ask a question out of genuine curiosity as a human meeting another human, instead of me in this profession meeting somebody else in another profession because I want to be power partners with them, right? I would much rather walk out of the room having had a meaningful conversation with somebody and a plan potentially for us to follow up than to have these 10 business cards. I'm like, yeah, that's going to go in the pile with the other 110 that I have sitting at home that I haven't looked at and I can't remember. Right. So it's get out of our own way. It's not always about us, right? We need it to be about other people.
That was great advice. I want to thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Meet the Expert on the Block. And I'm hoping that what you've brought to the table and the bit of advice that you gave for just now, maybe something that might help somebody going into that situation, or if they're feeling the same way, going into a networking event. So I want to thank you so much, both of you, for joining me. Let's just jump back, because I have so much fun doing this. Let's just jump back to the comments and see if there are any other questions. So, Brand, fun question, fun thing, with or without bumpers. So that has to do with the bowling thing, I think.
The bowling.
Yeah.
The bowling thing. Hold on a second. Oh, I always got to include my mom. Hi, Mom. Looking good. Thank you. I forgot to call her today. Oops. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'll see you tomorrow. So I think that's all of I just ran through everything. I don't think there were any questions. If there are any questions, I'm going to give you a little bit of time to put the hashtag C4C there, because we're going to be doing the drawing in a little bit. It doesn't look like there's any other. Oh, wait, hold on. New things are popping up. Let me go down here. Oh, hold on. What's this? Chris Black, does the way one dresses have an impact? Is
That's
that
a good
does
That's it. That is a good question. I'll let you go first, Dr. Michelle.
Oh, sure. Okay. This is how it goes, right? What I really think is that we need to look how we want to feel, if that makes sense. I want to be comfortable. I don't want to be walking around in shoes that are hurting my feet the whole time because I think that's the thing that everyone else is wearing, right? I think it's more important for us to dress within the scope of the space, certainly, right? Like I'm not going to go in my pajamas, but I really do need to be very comfortable because that's the only way I'm going to get out of my head. Because otherwise, I'm like, oh my gosh, does this look okay? Or this is too tight around here. My shoes hurt, right? I need to be out of my head and thinking about everybody else. So I do put thought into what I wear ahead of time so that I don't have to think about it when I'm there.
That's a good question.
At the same time, if you work in a bank and you dress business professional and you're going to networking in the morning and it is more casual, you're going to be still going. Maybe you take your jacket off and you still have your suit, or you have your shirt and tie on, but you don't have your suit jacket on. But because you're going to go to work right from there, right? Don't be sloppy. That's great.
That's my mom.
I agree with that. I agree with that. At the same time, if you are an HVAC person and you have an HVAC company, and you're not going to be dressing up in a suit if you're going to an appointment right from that networking event. People will understand that you're showing up in your HVAC company, whatever it's called, and you have your name tag on and you show up to a networking event. They know what you do, especially if it's like a trades networking event. They know because that is your why, right? You should be dressed for the part. Of course, if you're going to like a networking event that is like a black tie thing or whatever the dress code is, obviously you would match that and be respectful of wherever you're going. So whoever really is inviting you, or the membership person or the coordinator for whatever event you're going to, I would always ask them if you have any doubt on how you should dress, because they'll give you some advice on at least a nudge on which way to go.
But that is a good question. I mean, because you don't think, well, you always feel like you have to get superly dressed up, but it depends on where you're, like you're saying, and does it match up to where you're going?
And make it your own. I just really think that's critical to make it
totally
a reflection of you, who you are from the inside and how you want to reflect outward.
Well, we have another question. It says, when is a good time in your business to hire a coach? That is a really good question, Christine. So can you, and either one of you take that question?
Sure. Anytime.
Seriously,
I'm not kidding. Because just think about what it means to up level, right? You up level and then you kind of plateau, and then you up level and then you plateau. And so at every stage, you're up leveling, which means that all the work that you've been doing to overcome your inner critic, I shouldn't say overcome, to embrace your inner critic and to work on your mindset, you need to do that again and again and again. So I think there are different issues at different times in the career as well with in your trajectory of your business. But I think anytime. I don't think there's a wrong time.
And I would just add to that a couple things. When you have the capacity, so when you can do things consistently. So if you are in a spot and say you're a CPA and it's February or March, to hire a business coach at that point, if that's your busiest season and you don't have the capacity to sit with that coach consistently, whatever it may say it's 1 hour a week, and you're doing it where you're like canceling appointments because you got to take care of clients first, that's probably not the best time to do it. And also have the capacity to implement whatever type of coaching you're getting into your actual business, so you can actually work on your business. So those two things, along with being open-minded. So, if you're the decision maker, obviously if it's for you or not. But if you're working for somebody, make sure that whoever is also needing to buy into that decision on hiring a coach believes in giving you the authority to make the necessary changes that you need to make in order to improve and put the ideas in place on a consistent basis to know if the coaching is actually paying off or not.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Some great advice here. So what I'm going to do, we've got Gary here saying I was in the first one. So
Yes, he was.
yes.
He's
And thank you
Gary
for
the
being
OG.
here.
Yeah.
Gary, thank you for being here. Jeez.
Good to see you.
It's great to see all these people. Jeez, this is like awesome. I can't believe it. So what we're going to do now is this better work. All right. I am going to bring on deck. And then I get to go. So this is the moment. What does it?
Hey,
okay.
We need more entries.
Done. There's only
That's
one.
not right. There's only this can't be. Okay. So this is where we go. This is where we go to plan B, because for some reason, and then I got to go moan about this because it's not saying everybody's, this is awful. So
wait, what's your plan B? Do you have like a hat with names or what?
So no, what was it? I was going to, no, I don't have a hat with names. So I wish I did, because this is really, it can be very embarrassing. I can't believe only one person. Yeah, that didn't work. So what we're going to do is I'm going through the list here. We were going to pick, what was it? You were going to
write down a number from 1 to 10 or 1 to however many people that are on the call, and then say who, comments wise, say you pick number 6 or 7, it's the 6th comment that you read that wins, but it's already predetermined on whatever number you write down.
All right. Well, I did have a number, and I
you did. Okay, good.
Yes, because I figured didn't know what would happen. I was hoping that this would go back, and just let me check something out real quick. Nope, we got to do that. We were doing the number thing. So my number was number 7. So I'm going to go at the top of the feed here, and we're going to go. I'm looking for my C4Cs here. There. Okay. So that 1, 2. Well, I got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Uh-oh.
5, 6, 7.
Okay, good.
So that would be the number 7 is
Matt Watts.
Matthew Watts. So
right.
So I get to go complain. Yes, I'm going to go complain to this company and see why it didn't work. And then, but Matt Watts, you won. So be in touch with either Raghu or Dr. Michelle on the getting together and coordinating all that good stuff. And I want to thank everybody for joining us. Wait a second. Hold on. We got more. We've got more people chiming in here.
No more bullying comments, please.
Oh, what does it say? Oh, my name better be on there. You are on there, but you weren't number 7. Where's the wheel? We had a glitch, Andre. Okay. Jeez. And then thank you, Ranka. That was really nice of you to. Yes, that was very nice of you to say.
I'm blowing her a kiss. You can't see her you can't see me over her face, but I'm blowing her a kiss.
Oh, okay. Oh, because I gotta remove this. Now you can blow your kiss. Okay.
Aww.
Yeah,
thanks,
I know,
Ranka.
Bryn. That company had. Yes, I know they messed up the C4C. That we're gonna talk to them.
They need it.
Yes, they went to plan B. It worked out fine. All right. So I want to thank everybody for joining this episode of Meet the Expert on the Block. And I most of all, I want to thank Raghu and Dr. Michelle for being here and answering all the questions and giving us your insights. you guys are great. I'm going to be doing the women's class if they're starting on Friday. So I'm excited about that. So, and if anybody out there, I mean, really, if you have doubts, if you have any doubts on doing networking or just having that confidence to do it, this is a really great program. It's worked, it's helped me out, and I'm sure that it would help you. And like you said before, it's that camaraderie that's built within the class that really you feed off of the energy off of everybody. So really, you guys do a great job at it, and thank you so much. So until next time, I want to thank you for joining us, and thank you everybody, and make it a great evening, and we'll see you on the next show.
Thanks,
Bye.
Dawn.
Thank you so much, Dawn. We really appreciate it.
Not a problem. Thank you.